So, for Jumbos, we gotta start, who we gotta start off with, right? Or you're even on my bed. We gotta start off with the main guy. Garten of Banban himself. And maybe add his girlfriend too, Banbalina Garden isn't that right? Isn't that right? Are you even on my bed? We gotta add the monkey character too. Captain Fiddles, and then we gotta add the jellyfish. Freaking Stinger Flynn. And the dog character, everyone loves him. Get off my bed. Then, we gotta add the goat of Banban characters, freaking Jumbo Josh. And everyone's favorite for some reason, Nab Nab. And we gotta add a Peel Bird. And maybe Celine. Celine, Oh, he went off my bed. But we also got these guys. Hold on, let me go get them. We can't have jumbo plushes without Fat Mojo Nab Nab, Fat Mojo Jumbo Josh, and Fat Mojo Banban. No Banbalina sadly. We gotta keep these guys here. And since you twos are like one of the second biggest plushies, we gotta have Sir Dadadoo, the Lord of Evil, Ramamba, another evil character that slithers around. We gotta add 1 foot Jumbo Josh, cause like 1 foot big, and like Opila Bird, cause Opila Bird, and stand up. And then, we gotta add Mr. Your army is about to get knackered. It's a region. And you can't have Ramamba without Truffle Toot. So, Truffle Toot, makeshift. And yeah. And since these guys are like fat as hell, you gotta add him third, Yeah, you got Claw Machine Abnalina, I think one of the rarest Japan plushies you could ever get. I haven't seen anyone with this. No photos of her, except for the keychain one, but not the full-size one. And, can't have Nabnalina without, Neebnee. So let's just add them together. Without Nab, there really can't be no Banban, So Banban, Fat Banbalina has to be on there too, Yeah. You gotta have Opila Bird, who looks like an Opila chick, And then Slow Celine, of course. Everyone loves Slow Celine. Then you got Baby Stinger Flynn, who looks like his tentacles are so short, Then you gotta add Chibi Jumbo Josh, who looks like freaking baby, like always. Yes, Sir Engine. Ha 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 ha. Pancreas. Then, can't have the Banban gang without a protector. The Toadster. The Toadster, by the way. You gotta have Fat Monkey too. He's like fat and yeah. And sure, these may be like somewhat rare Japan plushes, but they aren't the only ones. I mean, you got Japanese Jumbo Josh too. I mean, yeah. Fiddles too. Like I think they're cousins. You got Bitter Giggle. You got Neeb. You got the frog dude. I forgot his name. Loki. Opila Bird and like Slow Celine, Banbalina, Stinger Flynn, Flumbo, Garden of Banban, and yeah, those are the ones you can get in stores. All of these guys. I think I'm missing one. No one's missing. It just looks weird without Nabnalina or the Queen. But yeah, these are the ones you get in Japan inside the stores. These guys behind them, they're Claw Machine exclusives only. You know, you can't have Banban plushies without the bootlegs, you know? So you gotta have bootleg Banban and the bootleg Lena, and you know, since they're like perfect versions of the Nabs, you gotta have Nab Nab and a very rare Nab Nalina. I had to get this from my friend. Shout out to Bitter Giggle Plush Tuber. You know, gotta have Opila Bird, Tarta Bird. You know, they gotta have Kid Tarta Chick, of course. Maybe Little Beak. You gotta have the Queen. You know, you gotta have Flat-Eyed Celine. I mean, that's the chicken. You gotta have Stinger Flynn with freaking noodle tentacles. Put them right there. And then you gotta have Sheriff Toadster. Everyone loves Toadster, don't they? You gotta have Jimbo Geese. Yeah, that's right, Jimbo Geese. And you know, can't have Garten of Banban without the most important character. That's right, Captain Fiddles. And his twin brother, 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 Captain... Oh crap, I think my... Captain Fiddles. And his brother, Captain Fiddles. Yeah, that one. I think that's all the fiddles I have. And, you know, it's like Garten of Banban. You can't have Garten of Banban without the green gorilla himself. Or his sibling. You got the blue one, the pink one, the orange one. Everyone loves the orange one, don't they? The yellow one. And that's right, the green one. My favorite one personally, because he's green. I love green. You know, without Bitter Giggle, you can't have Kittysaurus. Yeah, Kittysaurus. You know, the auntie tattoo. Then you gotta have Big Singer Flint too. I mean, I already have one, but like, yeah, take that. And yeah, you got Zolphius, Benito Nito Burrito, Chamataki and Tamataki, Banban. You know, Banban. You got Professor Bitter too. I don't know, Professor Bitter. Yeah, Super Axel TV Banban too. Chopped Banban. And Tall Victor. The freaking broccoli guy. I don't know, Syringe's twin brother. Hellish Bitter Giggle. The Nab Nab citizens from Missing Banban. And yeah. There's also some customs too. You got Dogban. You got Jivanium Citizen. You got Jivanium Citizen. Then you got the Developer Vindicator. Going the Banban. You gotta give him his basketball too. You can't forget Geppo's basketball. And everyone's favorite character, Walter, bro. Everyone loves Walter. I'm not a single hater of Walter's here. And if you hate him, you're not my friend anymore. Get out of here. Yeah. And that's not it. You gotta have Fat Mojo too. So you gotta have Banban, right? And like mini Banban. And like mini Banban. And like Garten of Banban. Garten of Banban. Then yeah. I mean, maybe I'd like a bald one for I don't know, a bald Banban. That's it. And then you know, got a Garten of Banban, little Banban, and yeah, everyone loves Banban. You gotta have Nab Nab, right? Then you gotta have Nab Nab, right? like Nab Nab, right? Then you gotta have like Chop Nab Nab. Two goobers, I don't know. You look like you have no legs. Take your legs out. And, you know, you gotta have bald Nab Nab, like Nab Nab. Gippo, what are you doing? You're lucky Ferris isn't here. He'd put you in the basement by now. Yeah. You know, with those guys, you gotta have Stinger Flynn at least. Like, Stinger Flynn at least. And like, you know, everyone loves Stinger Flynn. So I got 3 of them. So you could have the bird character. Yeah, bro. You could have bird character and a bird character. And maybe add a couple of frogs in there. Yeah, frogs. Maybe add a hammerhead thing. Or like a blue anti-devil. Or, you know, bitter giggle. Or bitter giggle. And you know, you gotta have Jumbo Josh. Gotta have Jumbo Josh. Gotta have Jumbo Josh. Gotta have Jumbo Josh. And Jumbo Josh. And Jumbo Josh. And like Yellow Jumbo Josh for some reason. And like Jumbo Josh. And like Jumbo Josh. And to top it all off, the monkey himself. Captain frickin' Fiddles. You have mean kids too. I mean, like, there can't be no good without any evil. The mean kids. Everyone loves the mean kids. And like, Rukia from Bleach. What are you doing here? Also fix your hair. And yeah. That's my whole collection on my bed. Wow. Well, not really full. I mean, you got objects like criminal buckets. I didn't really count them in, but I counted the mean kids, so I don't know, why not have a criminal bucket? Maybe the figure too. And yeah, that's the whole collection. Wow.